What's up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Geek Out. And I'm going to tell you, this fucking week, man, we're geeking out all over the place because not only do we have a slew of trailers, especially one of the greatest trailers, if not the greatest trailer I've ever seen in my fucking life, dropped this week, we also have Star Wars Celebration. I mean, come on, man. The Last Jedi is here. It is upon us. The trailer dropped. And we're going to go all in on it. But that's later. Let me introduce you to my panel. Joining me once again, third week in a row for episode 3 of the Geek Out, we got my man C-Money. What's up, Chris?
What up, man?
I'm glad you're back, brother. Really enjoy your take on these topics.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Also joining me, he's back once again, my right hand on the G Show, G95. What's up, Matt?
Hello, everyone.
Ready to rock and roll, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Also joining us, my left hand on the G Show, we got G62, a.k.a. Alex. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, guys. Glad to be back, as always.
All right, man. Let's get right in on this, all right? Because, look, we're going to save Star Wars for last because, obviously, it's Star Wars, and that's my thing. So we're going to save that for last because we're going to geek out on that big time. Before we get to the really crazy stuff, okay, the hot and heavy shit, we're gonna just start off slow. So the first thing I want to talk about off the bat, seriously, because it's kind of crazy, is not trailer, but the news of Josh Brolin playing Cable in Deadpool 2 and beyond. Josh Brolin, y'all all know, is Thanos right now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now he's gonna play Cable in Deadpool 2. And if any of y'all seen Deadpool or know the character, you know that this dude breaks the fourth wall religiously. This has the makings to be one of the funniest movies ever because I'm a huge fan of breaking the fourth wall. I love that gag. Every time I see it, I don't care how bad the movie is. If I'm not enjoying it, I don't care. They break that fourth wall, I crack up. This is going to be so much fun. So I'm going to start with you, Chris. What do you think about Josh Brolin joining the cast of Deadpool?
I mean, it's cool. I definitely think he'll bring a lot to the character. My real problem with it is because we know things are kind of falling apart with the X-Men franchise, which I was hoping would turn into like maybe Fox maybe starting to consider a deal with Marvel like Sony did. But this kind of feels like another fuck you from Fox to Sony to Marvel. Because anyone who's like in the know, like for all the geeks out there, anyone who's in the know, there's like some bad blood between Marvel and Fox, and they're constantly going back and forth about shit and everything like that. And, you know, they made the deal for Legion recently where Marvel allowed Fox to do a TV show for Legion. And we were all kind of hoping that maybe that was leading towards like something where like maybe there was some talks in the works that they were getting past all that bad blood shit and they would start trying to work together. And then Fox goes and casts their Thanos actor to be in Deadpool, which is kind of like, nah, bro, nah. I mean, you let us do the TV show, but fuck you. So I'm a little bit aggy about that. But I definitely do think that Josh Brolin is going to do well as Cable, and it's going to be a fun movie. But the geek side of me that wanted to see, like, maybe in the future these studios starting to work together, it's like dashed hopes at this point.
I can't wait for the inevitable Jonah Hex joke. You know it's coming. Matt, what about you, brother? What do you think of this news?
I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised. I thought it was fake at first. I thought it was like, oh, maybe it's just a rumor, but, you know, it's seeming to be pretty legit. And that's awesome because, and I think it's only fitting considering Ryan Reynolds has played so many other superheroes in the past. You know, he's Green Lantern. He was, quote unquote, Deadpool in X-Men Origins. He was in Blade Trinity. He was in R.I.P.D. That was a superhero movie. It was a comic book movie. And the dude is well versed in comics, comic book movies. So it's just only fitting that they get someone else who's been in a few. And plus, I'm a huge fan of Josh Brolin. I think he's great. He's great in everything I see him in. So this is it's good news all around.
Alex, do you think Jessica Biel and Megan Fox are going to be in Deadpool 2, joining their previous comic book co-stars?
Oh my god! Just like what Matt said, like I thought this was honestly fake. My brother told me about it, and I was like, "What? You gotta be shitting me! Like, no way that this is happening." I looked up to it. I waited a day or two just to make sure, like, it's it's correct. And honestly, I can see him as Cable. Cause I read the Cable comics, especially the Deadpool X Cable crossovers when they first were brand new characters. So I think he can do it. I just hope that nothing happens with Fox or that he gets pissed enough to leave, because we don't know exactly what's going on. But I hope this goes through the deal. I hope it's a great movie, because I feel like Ryan Reynolds and him would team up and extraordinarily well. Like they were those two characters. I feel like they could flesh them out really well done. If Fox's script is on par with it, and they don't rush it for the money, because Deadpool is like the #1 franchise now, even higher than X-Men. So I just hope that all of it just goes through peacefully and smoothly.
Listen, I just we got all that, and we have to have at least Hugh Jackman cameo in Deadpool 2. That just. I'm looking forward to it. I love Josh Brolin as an actor. I'm excited for this news. So, and Cable, in the 90s, when I found X-Force for the first time, that was my introduction to Cable. Even though later I found out the New Mutants and all that, but I always liked Cable for whatever reason. I just thought maybe it was the way he was drawn, and I wasn't even into characterization like that back in the days. I just thought he was a cool fucking look. And Josh Brolin, yeah, you know what, fits the bill. So. I'm excited for it. Again, I can't wait for all the inside jokes, because this is going to be a romp. I'm not a Deadpool fan at all. I don't like Deadpool. The movie cracked me up. I read a couple of comic series like Night of the Living Deadpool. Enjoyed it. Can't lie. It was good. It was fun. But as on a whole, I really don't care about Deadpool. But this movie franchise, with the addition of Josh Brolin playing Cable, I'm all in. I'm all in. Now, who's playing Domino? Because that's shit. Man, that was my comic book crush. What was that?
You saw Donald Glover's show Atlanta?
No, I have not.
The girl that plays his baby's mother on that show is going to be Domino.
Oh, so they cast her already?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna go look that up after the podcast. Good looking. I didn't know that.
She's a rapper too. So her name is like Zazie Beats or Zazzy Beats. I don't know, but Zazie Beats.
Well, look at that. I like it. I'm going to check out. And well, thank you, Chris. See, look at that, hooking me up. All right, jumping off for Deadpool's bandwagon. I want to throw this out there. Matt, thank you for reminding me, because I completely forgot to put this in the notes. This week, a different type of trailer, a TV trailer dropped. Something I didn't even know was in the works. So this trailer caught me off guard, and it was for The Mist. Stephen King's, based off Stephen King's book, The Mist. We already had a movie with the Punisher, Thomas Jane, which I absolutely loved. So when I saw this trailer, that popped on before whatever I was watching on YouTube, I said, wait, what the hell? Because I usually skip. I was like, The Mist, what? And I watched the trailer, and wow, I was like, whoa, surprised. Caught me off guard completely, and I really liked what I saw. So it's coming out on Spike soon, I hope, rather than later. But I'm in. I'm all in on this. Matt, you brought it to my attention. You reminded me about this. What were your thoughts on the trailer?
It started off like it's different from the movie and from the novella. It seems drastically different. The Mist kind of seems to have some supernatural sort of powers, almost. Like, it makes, like, they're saying, once you're in the Mist, you feel like the Mist knows you and stuff. And that's just, I don't know. I was kind of on board at first, and then they started, like, now people are hallucinating relationship drama. And I'm like, I'm not so on board anymore. I don't know. I just want to see, like I was saying before the podcast, like, I just want to see monsters fucking people's days up. And like, I feel like a TV series would be a really good way to stretch that out. But it seems like, they're not quite going down that road. So I'm pretty hesitant about it. Not digging what I saw, but I will give the show a solid chance. Once it comes on, I'm going to hold most of my judgment for them. But based on this trailer, I'm not as excited as I was.
Gotcha. Alex, what about you? You just saw the trailer. Your thoughts on The Mist?
Well, being that I've never seen the movie or read the comics or any of that or the books, so I'm looking at it as an outsider's perspective. You know, someone that doesn't know that there's monsters in there or anything. So I watched it, and honestly, it feels very suspenseful. Like it feels like a show that I can actually really enjoy. It feels like something that's totally new that's not on TV right now. So I'm looking at it as an outside perspective with that, and it seems like, you know, kind of like The Walking Dead in terms of it's something new when it first came out. And hopefully that, you know, that I do enjoy it. I do want to give it a chance. So as an outside perspective, I think it feels something totally new, something different, and suspenseful. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Chris, you gave us the rundown on Stephen King's It on our first podcast. So I wonder, first off, have you read The Mist? And second off, you see the trailer. What do you think? Are we going to get these Lovecraftian creatures?
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't actually read the book itself. That's one of the few Stephen King books I've never gotten around to. But I did see the original movie adaptation. I do kind of have to agree with Matt on the feeling I'm getting from the trailer, but I'm also wondering how much of that is, like, deceptive in the sense of, like, they're purposely holding certain things back. Because The Mist, while a good movie, wasn't a huge one, and a lot of people may not be familiar with the story.
Right.
So they might walk in thinking that this is just, you know, like, kind of like Matt said, like supernatural relationship stuff and everything like that. And then, like, the first time a monster shows up, people be like, holy shit. Like, you know, it'll be a good, like, kind of, like, surprise. And also, like, even in terms of that, in terms of the whole, like, relationship, it doesn't seem too far off of what the themes of what Stephen King's stories kind of explore. Because even though Stephen King stories all have a lot of supernatural elements in them, the predominant plot and story is all about how the characters deal with this situation and how it changes their relationships with each other and how they react to the supernatural elements. So even if it is just a thing with, like, the mist is warping with their minds, it's not too far off of the kind of, like, Stephen King kind of drama stuff. Like, it fits perfectly in the themes that he explores in his story. So even if they don't have the monsters, it'll still be, like, a Stephen King kind of thing. But hopefully we do get the monsters, you know, like, and they're just kind of holding it back, so it's a big surprise for most of the audience when it does happen.
Yeah, I could totally see the monsters being there, and like you said, being hidden. That's what I'm hoping for. I dug the trailer. I like what I saw. I'm a sucker for shots and just cinematography. So some of them shots where the mist is coming over the hills or rolling down the street, it's cool, man. I'm a huge
beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a huge John Carpenter's The Fog fan, and I've always loved that, and the mist reminded me of that. I agree. Some of that relationship stuff, you know, is what it is. But I think that this is going to be the show for me and get my horror fix on television other than American Horror Story, which I have not been enjoying at all these last couple of years. So, moving on. Let's get into the theatrical trailers, buddies. This is what we've been waiting for. We're going to do this going down the line. We're going to start with the most realistic, of course, and then we'll go from there. So, the most realistic, let's start with Charlize Theron in a Tom Wick blonde trailer, because that's what she is. She's John Wick, the chick. And, this week, the music in these trailers have had my head spinning. They were playing Blue Monday in this trailer. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm at a loss for words. So I'm going, Alex, you saw Atomic Blonde, the second trailer that just dropped this week. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a much better trailer than the first one. I actually didn't know there was a second trailer until yesterday when I saw the new Fast and Furious movie. It popped up in the previews, and everyone was like, what, a new trailer? And everyone clapped in the end of the trailer. That's pretty much how I felt in the end of that trailer. It was full of action. There were some, witty comments in it. I just thought it was I'm seeing it first day. Like, I'm excited for that movie, honestly. The trailer from the first second it popped to the end, I was all in it.
I gotcha. Chris, any possibility we see Charlize Theron and Keanu Reeves in a movie together?
I mean, it's certainly possible. Nothing is outside the realm of possibility. It would be cool if they tossed her up in, like, John Wick 3 and it was like a crossover thing.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm definitely excited about this movie. I'm excited to see her work with McAvoy, because McAvoy is fucking amazing as well.
Yeah, good God.
And I'm so hyped for this trailer. All this really has done is reinforce my belief that she should have been Wonder Woman, and I've been saying this since the initial thing when they were talking about Joss Whedon doing it in the Wonder Woman, I was like, Charlize Theron. Right from the jump, I always wanted Charlize Theron to be it. Because she has the physicality for it in terms of like her size and stature.
Right.
But also we see she handles the action really well. But that's kind of an aside thing for me. This movie looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be crazy, hyper, stylized action, fun. You know, seeing Charlize Theron kick a lot of fucking ass. Seeing James McAvoy as the sarcastic partner, which is always awesome. This movie, I'm so hyped for this movie, man. This is next to Baby Driver. This is my most anticipated movie of the year.
Let me tell you something about McAvoy. That dude, he completely disappears. Because I know him, of course, as Young Professor X. But
Yes.
Split, what he did in Split, that is the most incredible performance I've seen in I don't know how long. In this trailer, I completely forgot he's in it. I'm like, wait, who the hell is that? Holy shit, it's fucking James McAvoy. And I will say this, this is a small movie that came out last year or 2 years ago that I absolutely love. And that's him and Daniel Radcliffe in that Frankenstein movie where he played Dr. Frankenstein. I think it's called Victor Frankenstein. Amazing. He's so great. And that's why I really fell in love with him. But, Matt, let me ask you. What do you think of Charlize Theron's version of Jason Statham's Crank?
I don't know. Like Alex said, this trailer looks way, way better than the first one. I'm probably going to see it, but I probably won't see it in the theater just because I'm not action movies, for the most part, don't really do it for me too much besides Point Break. Point Break is the original is my shit.
You scared me for a minute. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. But yeah, it does look pretty good. It looks kind of like a weird kind of noir plus ultra action violent thing, and having a female lead kick a lot of ass is a good thing too. For the culture, I guess, not to get too preachy or anything, but I do think that's a good necessary thing. And Charlize Theron is someone who can definitely pull it off. She's, like you said about McAvoy, she also kind of just throws herself into the role. She shaved her head for Mad Max.
Oh, God.
She completely transformed herself for Monster. She's great. Just all around, she can do anything.
Monster, wasn't that directed by Wonder Woman's director?
Yes, it was.
Look at that, Chris. Comes right back. It comes right back.
Ultimately, before we move on, I really do hope this movie is successful because it is kind of as compared to most other things, it's something like an original concept. It's not the continuation of a franchise. It's not a sequel, reboot, or remake. So it'd be good. It'd be nice to see an original concept or pseudo-original concept like this, kind of take off, and we get some new franchises out of stuff like we did with John Wick.
You know what I feel like I want to compare this to? I hope it does well as, say, other female leads, say, Kill Bill or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
And I'll tell you...
it's on par with that.
I'll tell you, to round out this whole Street Fighter style analogy, we had hyper action, we had ultra action, Super Turbo Part 3, that's straight out...
action.
Yeah, straight out Capcom's... She's a Capcom character. She belongs in the Street Fighter game and all the best way possible. This chick kicks ass. Charlize Theron in this trailer kicks so much ass. James McAvoy comes in, like you said, Chris, got that comedic timing down. The beats are perfect. And, John Goodman and then the little guy that played, what's his name, in Captain America. I just, I'm...
It's also making things even more... full circle, that dude was also in The Mist.
He was.
Movie.
He's also oh yeah, that's true.
All I'm saying is this I had really, when the first trailer came out, I had kind of no interest in this because I was like, but it's John Wick with a girl, and I love Charlize Theron, I do, but I was just like, I don't know why. Then I found out that it's one of the co-directors of John Wick. Oh, of course, now it makes all sense. Then I see this trailer, and I'm like, oh, of course, yes. And also, this guy is directing Deadpool 2, starring Josh Brolin. He keeps coming back around. Let's get out of there and transform into something. That was corny. That was fucking terrible. And transform into something else. That was stupid, G1.
Own up to it. Be proud of it. It
makes me want to leave now.
Yeah, right? I better own it. I gotta own it. I'm gonna own it. I don't care. Shout out to my boy Gam Gam Z1 for this. We're going to talk about the latest trailer to come out for Transformers 5 The Last Night. Michael Bay's billion-dollar franchise. Listen, as an old school G1 Generation 1 fan of Transformers and the 1986 movie I hold in the most highest regards, I sing all the songs, I know them by heart. Okay, this franchise makes me cry. It makes me fucking cry. It does. I loved the first one when it had everything going against it. I hated the design concepts. I just hated it. Then I saw the movie and I was like, and I didn't hate Michael Bay. I didn't. But then I saw the movie and I was like, you know what? At least they got the characters right. That felt like Optimus Prime. Then it went downhill from there, and for me, it never recovered. Some of the set pieces are great. The action is spectacular. But outside of that, I hate the movies. I hate the stupid potty humor. I say potty humor because that's what it is. I fucking hate it. Then I see this fucking trailer, and I'm like, oh, shit. It's the arc. With King Arthur, that was the fucking arc. I don't care what nobody. That was the fucking arc, and I'm like, that's a throwback to the cartoon. Like, look at that shit. The knights themselves looked. I liked the way those old robotic knights looked. I did when they were above the round table. I was like, shit. And then of course all the set pieces and something that blew my mind because I wasn't thinking, and I have to watch the trailer again just to like pause it and look. But apparently the little creature, the little metallic robot creature, the female that floats to Optimus Prime, people are saying it's a quintesson. Now, in Star Wars lore, the quintessons are kind of like almost the creator of the Transformers. That fucked me up because if it is a quintesson, I'm like, yo! I hate this franchise. I didn't see the last two movies in the theaters. I might bite the bullet and see this one no, I'm lying. I did. I saw the third one in the theater. I didn't see the last one in the theater. I might bite the bullet, see this one in the theater. See, Monty, I'm going to start with you, bro. You're from New York. You've been around. What were your thoughts on Transformers The Last Night?
You're not getting me again, Michael Bay. You're not. You've done it to me with these trailers too many times before. You show some cool-ass shit in the trailer. I get hooked. That's how you got me on the third movie. The trailer looked cool as shit. I went to go see it, and I hated every second of it. You're not fooling me again, Michael Bay. You've hurt me too many times. No, I mean, like, I have to admit the trailer does look dope as shit. Like, this is the one that, if I didn't have those past experiences with the franchise, this is the one that would have sold me. This is the one that would have been like, yo, I got to see this movie. But there's too much pain there, man. It's too many bad memories. I'm probably not going to see this movie.
I see. Yeah, I feel you. Matt, what about you, bro? I know you're a giant Transformers fan.
Well, I'm a fan of the cartoons. I watched the first movie a few times. I've seen the second one halfway through, and then haven't seen the third or fourth. But this one actually does look really good. I can't deny it. It looks really good. I do want to see it. It looks darker. It looks a little bit more mature, even though it probably in the end isn't. I haven't had those past experiences like Chris, so I'm being pulled. Like, I know it, I'm being pulled, and I'm a sucker, and I'm being pulled right in, but that's okay, because it looks fucking dope, and, you know, it's weird that this trailer didn't put any emphasis on Unicron, which the last two trailers did. And, I mean, that's cool. That's, like, showing this movie is as multifaceted as a Michael Bay Transformers movie can get, but yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, as soon as, like, with the first trailer dropped and we got the tiniest hint of Unicron, I'm like, I'm probably in. I love Unicron. He's so fucking cool.
Look,
yeah, I'm in. I dug this trailer a lot.
Look at that, Alex. Matt's not going to go see Atomic Blonde in trailers, but he's definitely going to see Transformers The Last Night. What are your take on this Transformer travesty, if you want to call it that?
Well, for one, I'm going to say, Matt, you're crazy. Two, that
I never said that I would see it in theaters. I just said that I would see it.
I'm not being fooled.
Don't be putting words in your mouth.
I'm not seeing it in theaters, and I'm not seeing it on Blu-ray or DVD or cam quality. I'm not seeing this. I'm not being fooled. I've been harmed by the second, the third, and the fourth one. Yes, I even saw the fourth one in theaters. It made me cry inside. And I told my friends, I'm not seeing this one. I saw the trailer. Yes, it does look cool. But, as the others said, I remember seeing the third trailer for the third movie, and it was so beautiful. I was like, the music rocked in the trailer. The action looked amazing. They're taking the series to a more serious level. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not being fooled. I can't. Michael Bay, he should be out of Hollywood at this point. Even if he's making tons of money for this franchise, I can't anymore. It's killing me. Especially this week when I heard that they're going to release like 10 to 15 more movies. I was like, no, I can't. I'm being burnt alive, inside and out. No more.
Listen, all that shit aside, Matt, you brought up a good point. Unicron, it's in our face. It's right there in the face, and they have not said the name in the trailers. They have not come out publicly and said, yeah, it's Unicron. But I mean, it doesn't look like what we know to be Unicron. But I mean, it's a giant fucking planet that looks like it's about to eat another planet. It looks more like Unicron did than Galactus did in that second Fantastic Four movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Please don't bring that up.
Don't remind me.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I like that second Fantastic Four movie more than I like the second Transformer movie. I have a thing with movies. If it's something that I loved as a kid growing up and they do it, or not even that, if it's just like a franchise that I love or whatever the case may be, and I see a sequel or just a movie in general, if I hate the movie, I'll give it one more shot just to see if I missed anything. When I saw Transformers 2 in the theaters, I hated that movie. I refused to buy it, watch it, everything. I just not. And one of my cousins had gotten it, and I said, you know what? Let's fucking watch it. Let's get drunk and just watch this movie. I did, and I hated it even more. I will never watch that movie, never own that movie. That movie doesn't exist to me. But yeah, look, this movie is a juggle. I want to see Unicron. I want to see what they do. And if that thing transforms and it kind of resembles Unicron, then I might have to give this one a buy.
All I need is a giant mechanical mustache, and I'll be happy.
That's it. That's all you do need. I'm telling you. But
I mean, in defense of Michael Bay, I mean, I know this is probably going to be Russell's and Jimmy's, but the man he knows exactly his audience, and he goes for it. Like he knows he's not trying to be anything other than just the action explosions director. That's what he likes to do, and that's what he does. And fucking props to him for being so incredibly successful at it.
I think
he's a talented guy. His shot compositions and stuff are really good. He just kind of has he has this small obsession with like dick and fart joke humor, like middle school humor that drags down the level of quality in the rest of his stuff. Because I mean, like, he's made some good movies.
No, I agree. I like Michael Bay. I do. I look, I don't hate him because of Transformers at all. He doesn't do it justice in my book, but that's coming from an old school fan. But all that aside, like, yeah, you're right. He has this little thing for, dick and fart jokes. He has a fetish for fast cars and mechanical pieces that move around when they shouldn't even need to when they transform. But yeah, and I think he even said as much that he knows the audience he's making these movies for. And, I give him props for that. Shit, they're $1 billion. Domestically, though, Chris, let me ask you. Domestically, you see the decline as far as box office goes. But internationally, these things are making buck. So, like, what is the appeal outside of the States that we don't see that everybody else sees?
I mean, part of it might be some of the stuff getting lost in translation. They probably have different, rewritten jokes or whatever like that. We don't know exactly what they're seeing overseas. And plus, like those audiences, even more so than ourselves, grew up on like the whole giant robot thing. So it's part of their culture. Who knows? Who knows? Like, I don't study up on everything. Like, who knows why they love it so much more? And it's not to say that they're like, as far as action goes, they're bad movies and everything like that. It's just for me personally, I require solid story and character development next to those cool action sequences. And I don't feel like I get that from these movies. because even in some of his earlier movies, like The Rock and Bad Boys and everything like that, you had solid stories, you had solid character development and everything like that. And then at a certain point, just got going too heavy on the action. That's where he kind of started losing me. That aside, I mean, like, as cool as this trailer looked, it won't undo all the stuff I saw in the Fight Like a Girl trailer. So it hasn't really done enough to convince me, based on what the corniness that I saw in that trailer, that this movie's going to be as cool as this trailer is making it look.
I gotcha. Yeah, I completely forgot about that Fight Like a Girl trailer. Wow, you're right. Because the concept is there, but the execution wasn't.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm all for developing strong female characters, and especially one that's young like that young girls can now draw to for these franchises. Because these franchises generally are made for boys, or were considered to be made for boys. So I'm all for having strong female leads, especially at a young age, that young girls can kind of look up to. But it just seems like the execution in that trailer was forced, and it made it kind of come off as corny. Plus the whole thing about him yelling at I always forget the T-Rex.
Grimlock.
Yeah, to drop that cruiser. Like, come on, man. Like, he's like, you're talking to him like he's a dog. Like, that's not funny to me.
Yeah, no, I got you on that one. I totally agree there.
You go back to your hole and you think about what you've done. Fuck you, I'm a dinosaur robot.
Word. Well, speaking of dinosaur robots, none of them, not one, is in the next trailer. Listen, okay, I gotta put a pause here. Monday, I was at work early in the morning. It's a spring break, so I usually work nights, and because it's spring break, I get to go in as early as I want, so I can get out early. And while I was at work, a trailer dropped. Surprise, surprise, because there was no mention that this was coming. It just happened. And thank you, Matt, for putting that up on the page, because I would not have known. I would not have known. And terrible reception where I work. So it wasn't until I got home and I opened it up and I said, hold up, let me put this on the television. I got to watch it on the big screen. And I pressed play. And I can't lie, man. I sat on it. I sat on it for about almost an hour before, since I was home before I put it on. I was just looking around, seeing what to eat. I was hungry. I was like, I get some lunch in me. I said, let me stop procrastinating. Let me put this thing on. And I put this shit on the television. And I cranked the volume up just a bit. And the fucking trailer for Thor Ragnarok starts. Oh, fuck. I just want to say something. At the end of last year, we did most anticipated films for 2017. Thor Ragnarok was number 3. Thor Ragnarok is now number 2 because I already saw Kong Skull Island. Thor Ragnarok is up there. If it wasn't for Star Wars, Thor Ragnarok would be my most anticipated movie for this year. This trailer is the greatest trailer I have ever seen put together. From the music to the visuals, and I know a lot of people were beefing about it, saying it looked like a certain other Marvel property. To them, I say, go fuck yourself. This shit fucking rocked. Rocked. From using Immigrant, seeing fucking Kate Blanchett. Oh my God, like I never looked at her like that before, and I had such an erection because she looked fucking hot. Holding that hammer, the mascara all bleeding into, I mean, everything. And okay, look, I'm going crazy.
There's nothing about goth Kate Blanchett.
Listen, I'm going crazy here, so I'm going to just stop. I'm going to throw it to you, Alex. Take it away.
Well, I think I said this when during the most anticipation of movies. I remember I brought up Hulk versus Thor, the animated film, back in the day. That's when Hulk and Thor went in it, and they went to to Hell, and they fought Hela and all that stuff. And I was like, it's going to be similar to that. And in a sense, it does and does not, because we're definitely going to. When we saw Hulk and we saw him in that armor, they're definitely pulling in stuff from a World War Hulk, which is an amazing comic book series.
Yep.
And we all know how much of a beast that Hulk was in that, because at that point he became strong, 3 times stronger than he's ever been. Like, you don't mess with Hulk when he was in the World of Hulk like armor. He's been fighting powerful monsters throughout the universe. The question is, we don't know how long he's been there. Okay, they could be totally different. We don't know if he's going to have a family. We don't know if he's going to be all this stuff. Like, that's what Planet Hulk was. but like, oh my god, the visuals, how Hela looked, the helmet, that crazy helmet that she wore.
Oh my god.
Perfect. Just like the comics. I'm like, thank you. At least please add that. We saw Loki, like, flipping the knives. I thought that was cool. And then the arena, everything. Like, oh, it was so beautiful. It was just, there's nothing I would question this movie. I'm all for it. It's number one at the film I want to see this year. I'm all for it. Down. Totally down. Even more than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Matt, you posted the trailer. You put a big capitalized yes and a bunch of exclamation points. Were you overreacting, or was that legit?
No, that was me quoting Thor.
Yes. Well, I didn't see it. So, before we see it, we just see your reaction with the yes. But again, was that your reaction, or were you overreacting?
That was my reaction. I was, the rest of the stuff, it looked like interesting. It looked really busy. I was sold right from the get-go. But I was like still a little bit. Thor hasn't had a good track record in his solo movies thus far, so I was a little worried, and I thought, like, maybe they're trying to balance too many storylines, and that's kind of remains to be seen. But like, once he hits the arena and you see Hulk and he's like, yeah, I was laughing really hard, and I don't really laugh at trailers much, even if they are funny, but that one had me cracking up. This looks great. Like, what can I say that hasn't been said already? Honestly, it looks fantastic. Can't get here soon enough.
I got you. Chris, let me ask you a question. Is Taika Waititi the right person for the job directing Thor? And do you think there was too much of a Guardians of the Galaxy flavor?
This is a tough one because, like, I know this is more kind of like a draw off the Ultimate Thor, where he's a little bit more irreverent and comical and everything like that, and a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Most of the Thor stuff that I'm familiar with is more of the serious, stoic, like Viking, I'll have words with you, my friend, kind of thing. So it's taking me a little bit of time to adjust to the Ultimate style of Thor. I do like it, namely because. Well, mostly because Chris Hemsworth has a great sense of comedic timing. Yeah. More than I was expecting him to. He kind of saved Ghostbusters, the remake, for me with his comedic timing. Oh, God. And so I'm definitely think that he's going to carry a lot of this movie in terms of whereas previously and everything like that, they tried to kind of hedge on Loki a bit much more and everything like that. So this is finally going to feel to me like Thor's actual time to shine. So I do appreciate the reverence of it. I think if you're going to be going for an irreverent version of Thor, Taiki, or however you pronounce his name, is the right guy to do it, because like he has a great track record with comedic stuff. What We Do in the Shadows was a hilarious movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's like one of the most hilarious horror comedies I've ever seen in my life.
It is so good.
I've yet to see that other one he did last year. The Wilder or whatever.
Okay, I didn't see that either.
Yeah, I forget the exact name of it, but I do want to see it. I haven't gotten around to seeing it. But he does have a good sense of balancing comedy with drama. So I do feel like he's gonna bring a lot. And I do think that, Marvel kind of is leading more heavily on the silliness of their cosmic adventures, which is why we're getting the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, because like aliens and spaceships and all that stuff can be wacky and crazy, and it's like, out there from what we normally see on every day-to-day life. So it's something to play around with and have fun with, especially when you're dealing with elements where it might be considered like magical, So I do feel like they're kind of drawing on that, like how silly they're playing into the silliness of the comic book aspect of it, but in a fun way that we can appreciate. So I do think that that's why we're getting the Guardians of the Galaxy vibe from this trailer. And I think it works. I think it works for a space adventure.
I absolutely agree with you. The Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailers that I've seen so far, they're good. They're good, but they don't give me a sense of the story. And that could be a very good thing, because Marvel knows that the first movie was a surprise hit. It really was a surprise hit. So people now want more of these characters. So let's not give them any story beats and just put out a trailer with cool music and eye-popping visuals. Thor had story beats all through it. And I agree with all your points y'all made. this Thor is more Ultimate Thor, very more California beach bum style. I love it. I do. I enjoyed Ultimate Thor. Alex, I don't think they're gonna do a lot from Planet Hulk outside of Hulk being there in the arena. Because it's Planet Hulk is, for me personally, the greatest Hulk story I've read. I'm sure there's a lot more I haven't gotten to, but that one right there, the Planet Hulk, all the way up through to World War Hulk, is some of the greatest Hulk stories I've ever read. I love those books. But I think they're gonna keep it more confined because at the end of the day, it's still Thor's movie.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but and like you said, Matt, I was loving the trailer. Like I said, with the song using Zeppelin and just Hela holding the hammer. And then when she breaks the hammer and that guitar riff hits and then the screams come. Me and Chris was having this conversation off camera last week about how music drives certain scenes. This is why this is by far my favorite trailer I've ever seen. The music and the way everything was put together just flowed so well. Like visually stunning. And Hela's costume is comic book accurate. My wife was like, I don't know. When she saw the trailer, I looked at her like, what are you talking about? You don't know. She was like, what was with the stupid headpiece? What are you fucking saying, stupid? That's from the fucking comic. Are you kidding me? I was like, that's exactly how it looks. Like, how do you fucking translate something as wacky and crazy in a comic because there's a comic book? And when you are able to do that, you win in my book. You fucking win. Captain America, the first one. Before that movie came out, I was like, how are they going to do it? You know, Cap's costume is silly. I don't get it. And then they showed his costume. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess that works. But then they went ahead and put his original costume in the movie. And I thought that was genius. And I was like, they fucking won. That's how you do it. And seeing Hela with this crazy headdress in the sequence with when Thor just freaks out, I was like, yes! Which again, like you said, man, I cracked up.
Yeah, I love that like little elf moment. Like, Santa!
Yes!
I know him!
I mean, that really sent it over for me because I was like, wow. When they show that long shot of Jeff Goldblum over here and Loki over there, and they're on a big couch and everything, there's a fucking Celestial. I was like, holy shit. Like, my mind was blown. Yes, the Celestial was a lot smaller and it looked like a cloak or just an outfit. But the fact is, these things are in the comics. Your eye, if you're a comic book fan and you know these characters, your eye wanders and you pick up certain things. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, to the Valkyries coming in on the horses, to them. Absolutely insane. I love this fucking trailer. It is definitely my favorite trailer I've ever seen. I've watched it at least 100 times. I'm not even making this up. I watched that trailer Monday at least 50 times. I just kept putting it on. Just kept putting it on. Just kept putting it on. I just couldn't believe how fucking cool. And how about Thor talking to you right in the beginning? You're probably wondering how I got in this. Like, that's just fucking great. I'm like, what is this, Deadpool? What's going on? But yeah, listen.
Plus, you also touched on something that I don't think any of us have brought up before that I want to mention now before we move on.
Yep.
It's how awesome it's going to be as Jeff Goldblum as like a cosmic elder along the lines of the Collector, just chewing the shit out of the scenery like he does.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Like I thought about saying it, but Jeff Goldblum is fantastic in anything.
Of course.
I guess we're all in agreement. I absolutely agree with you, Chris. Go, thank you for bringing that up. He is.
Can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
There's one person that we did not see in this trailer that is going to be in the movie for quite some time, and that is Doctor Strange. And I think they're saving him for the second trailer.
Well, that's good, because Doctor Strange is a rather boring movie anyway. That's just my opinion. I really don't care.
Yeah, I share that sentiment.
Yeah. Well, speaking of something that wasn't boring, I mean, this is the greatest trailer of all time, in my personal opinion. This Thor Ragnarok, and again, it's skyrocketed. This movie, I put every other comic book movie aside. Look, Logan was fucking fantastic. This is on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, seriously, I would sit there, watch Logan and cry, and then put Thor Ragnarok on just to get me back to being happy. But all that aside, the granddaddy of all, okay, Disney ain't stupid. Disney runs the world. Let's be for real here. They put off Thor on Monday, get everybody appetites wet, and then drop motherfucking Star Wars The Last Jedi on Friday. Look, okay, Star Wars Celebration started on Thursday. They did a very, very good 40th anniversary panel. I don't know if you guys watched it. Did any of y'all watch the...
I watched about half of it. I'm going to come back to it later when I have more time.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I didn't get any of the panels. I did see the trailer, but I didn't get around to the panels.
All right. Alex?
I saw like 40-50% of the panels.
Okay, so you saw the 40th anniversary panel that they did on Thursday?
A little bit, yes.
Beautiful panel. It was really cool. It was kind of like a This Is Your Life George Lucas, which I dug. They brought out Hayden Christensen and Ian McDermott to a standing ovation. This dude, Anakin Skywalker got a standing ovation. I loved it. Because, there's a lot of prequel hate. Justifiably so. But, just watching it and then, getting reactions from, like, the people I do watch and follow on YouTube who were there. You could feel it at home, too. The energy in the crowd. It was a very good panel. They ended it with a tribute to Carrie Fisher that had me weepy. Cannot lie. And then when you thought that was it, the curtain opens up and fucking John Williams is there and he's playing Princess Leia's theme. They got a whole orchestra and I was like, wow. Blew me away. Just so fucking awesome because it is just the 40th anniversary. Yeah, John Williams' Star Wars score is iconic and definitely his presence needed to be there. And I was glad that's how they ended that panel. It was great. Great way to kick off Star Wars Celebration. And then Friday morning, Good Friday indeed, they give you the Last Jedi panel. Let me tell you something. I had no clue. But Rian Johnson, you guys watch, he's a cool dude. I thought he was going to be like one of these, kind of like, not stiff, but like very anxious and anxiety and trying to like kind of keeping it together and holding it. This dude was just loose, comfortable. He felt comfortable. He played along with Josh Gad, who moderated the panel, which was funny. Because I don't know if you guys saw those Josh Gad videos where he keeps trying to get Daisy Ridley to spill some juicy beans. Oh, yeah. Those are so good. And now he finally, and I thought this was just, there she is on the panel, and he's like, I got you now. And I loved it. I was like, this is so fucking good. Anywho, how? The panel was great. Rian Johnson, I love this dude now. He's just a cool, down-to-earth guy, and they did something they didn't do in 2015. In 2015, when the Force Awakens trailer, they showed the panel, and when the trailer came on, the panel ended online. The stream ended. And then 5 minutes later, the trailer was up, which was cool. They played the whole thing and gave us the trailer. It never cut out. It was there real time. We got to watch it at home, the trailer with the people in the audience, and I thought that was fucking brilliant. Disney, my hat goes off to you. Anyway, that's my spiel on the Star Wars panels that I saw. Let's dive into the goddamn trailer. And I'm going to start with you, Matt. What was your reaction when you saw The Last Jedi trailer?
It was something to behold. Well, I was at work too, and I had the panel streaming on my phone, so I was listening to the audio, and then I had the video playing on my computer, so I could just kind of glance over from every now and again and just kind of look at what was going on, but I was hearing everything. And, I work in a warehouse, so I was running over across the warehouse to get something, and they were talking about the new poster. I actually just dropped it. I dropped everything that I was doing and fucking went straight back to my desk just to see that brilliant poster. That poster is fucking beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then I was just kind of glued to the TV or to the screen for the next 5-10 minutes because it was like, it's coming. It's coming. And then it came and I had to stop actually working to just stare at my fucking computer for a few minutes. I could have gotten in a lot of trouble for this. Fucking totally worth it. I was saying to myself all morning, yeah, I'm willing to lose my job for Star Wars. And one of my friends there just so happened to stroll by my desk just about a minute before the trailer started when they were talking about it's coming, and I was like, you came, I thought he knew, and he was coming over to talk about it, but he didn't know, and so we watched the trailer together live in real time. I thought there was that dark spot for about 10 seconds before the actual trailer like started coming up.
Yes.
I thought, okay, stream ended, and you know we gotta wait. But no, it kept going, and it was so good. It was so good.
Look at you. You were at work, willing to lose your job for it. I was at home with the wife. Both of us ran right up, like I got an ottoman. We sat right at the ottoman. We were like this right in front of the TV, which is kind of crazy. The stream kept going. Chris, where were you when that trailer dropped? Did you see it in real time or did you see it later?
No, I saw it later. I've been off this week because I work for a company that's like Orthodox, like it's owned by Orthodox Jews, so they've been off for Passover.
Okay.
I believe I was in bed when the trailer actually dropped because I woke up checking my Facebook feed and like I'm seeing all this stuff like Joe Blow and everything and something about 5 hours and 5 hours is going to drop. Not realizing that post was put up like 5 hours prior. So, so I'm scrolling through and I finally see the trailer. I watched it and I still haven't completely like it still hasn't completely sunk into the point where I'm had an emotional reaction to it. I'm still processing it in my head and everything 2 days later. And, oh man, just like that last line. Now, actually, I think it was your page that I actually saw the trailer on.
Oh, shout out to the G Show.
Yeah. And, like, just that last line where Luke is like, I only know one truth, that the Jedi has to end. And I'm like... Because I've been, like, me personally, I've for the most of my high school years, going into college and everything like that, when I first found out about the whole gray Jedi thing and how they stay neutral and everything, I'm like, that's the real balance of the Force. Deciding for yourself personally between the dark side and the light side and everything like that, maybe using a little bit of dark, using a little bit of light, like that whole balance.
Yes.
And over time, I've come to realize that the Jedi and the Sith both kind of suck as Force users. That's my personal thing. So, like, for Luke to say, like, you know what, they've had this all wrong for years. And, you know, I've realized we kind of got to do our own thing. That's the feeling I'm getting from the trailer, which is going to be awesome because that means that Daisy Ridley as Rey is going to be the first of a generation of Force users that's, like, not really beholden to any kind of dogma. It's just like, you know, this is going to be the new future of Star Wars, where people who are Force users are going to be like, okay, we're not using our powers for evil. We're not using it necessarily for good. It's just, it is what it is. So I'm kind of excited to see that and kind of break away from the whole Skywalker storyline. Because we talked about this last week, too, I think, when we were gearing up for doing the Star Wars celebration. We touched on Star Wars. And I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of done with the Skywalker storyline.
Right.
It's had its moment in the sun. Let's move on to something new, which is, you know, this is what this is kind of finally showing that they're doing, that they're moving on to something new, and I'm excited for it.
So, Alex, let me ask you, were you watching this thing in real time, or did you see it later, and what was your thoughts?
I saw an hour later. I was working. I came home, and everyone was, like, you know, sharing, reposting that trailer, and I was like, oh, God, I knew it was coming today, but I didn't think it. I thought I was going to make it. I did not. I sat down, I turned off the lights, I was getting in the mood, and then I started the trailer, and it was great. I knew there was going to be like a darker film or more serious film, kind of like Empire Strikes Back. Everyone kept trying to compare it to. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a little thing where we saw the broken helmet on the floor, and then you heard Yoda's voice.
Yep.
Like it was so low. And I was like, yes, they put it in. That set the mood for me for the rest of the trailer on out. And then, of course, what Luke said in the end. It, to me, as a trailer, it was not in like a super amazing teaser, but it set the tone for me. You know, it's one of those teasers that sets the tone, getting ready for the real trailer that'll probably come in a few months, but it set the tone for me, and I'm excited for the real trailer that comes out.
I totally agree. If I said I watch Logan, I get all weepy-eyed, then I watch Thor Ragnarok to put me back in my happy place, then I see the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer, and all of a sudden, like Chris said, I'm in the neutral zone. This trailer, like you said, Chris, I gotta be honest, I had the same reaction. I mean, like I said, I've seen it real time. I think my excitement was more for the fact that the feed didn't cut. I was excited about that. Like, serious. I was like, I'm grabbing my wife. They didn't cut the feed. And she said, shut the fuck up. The trailer's going to come on. I'm sorry. It took a while. It took a while. it doesn't help the fact that I've seen that Thor trailer over 100 times this week. So that still plays in my head. But when I sit down last night, this is about maybe the 20th time I watched the trailer. I watch these things a lot. Star Wars. I sat down. I was by myself. It was darker. It was dark outside. The lights were off. I put the sound bar on, raised that sumbitch up, and then I watched the trailer, and it started to hit me. It started to sink in more. Those words Luke said at the end resonated more. Fuck the words he says in the beginning. Breathe. Just breathe. Boy, I'm getting goosebumps now. Sends a chill up my spine. Not because finally we get to hear Mark Hamill talk again as Luke Skywalker, but just the thought. Yoda didn't tell Luke to breathe. Obi-Wan wasn't telling Luke to breathe. Luke has his own philosophy. What has gone on in Luke's head for the past? I think he's been gone for what, like maybe let's say a decade. I think it might be shorter, but however long he's been gone. What did this man see to lead him on this self-imposed exile? And now here's Rey. Who is she? Still the big question. Definitely going to get answered. Why is she here? And why the fuck has she got my lightsaber? What's going on? Like these things. And again, that last line, insane. But then everything in between. Seeing Poe Dameron's my favorite X-Wing get blown up made me upset. Because I love that X-Wing and I love the color scheme on it. Seeing, Kylo Ren, he's got the lightsaber again. I thought maybe he would have lost it on Starkiller Base. Unless he constructed a new one. I doubt it. I think that's his. Maybe he used the Force, grabbed it back before all was said and done. Who knows? Happy to see that. There was so much to this trailer. And there's definitely an Empire Strikes Back vibe going on.
Well, how can there not be?
You see the speeders, right? And they're going towards AT-ATs. And I'm like, look at this shit. I mean, like, they're not on snow. They're in a desert plain, it looks like. Or just like a rocky plateau, whatever. It reminded me a bit of the pod races. Like, they look like these just jumbled pieces. There's just so much going on in that trailer. So much shit going on in that trailer. Luke Skywalker and R2-D2, Luke sinking to his knees, watching a temple scene burning to the ground. The space battles, my favorite fucking thing in Star Wars, looking amazing. You see these frigates and the X-Wings and TIE fighters swinging in and out. Oh, God, it's just amazing shit. And then, of course, just seeing Daisy Ridley looking like she's struggling. And I loved it. She said something in
in that hospital.
What was that?
Finn in that hospital bed looking thing.
Oh, Finn in the hospital? Yeah. It wasn't a back to tank. That was interesting. That was very interesting considering. But Boyega was on the panel and he said, you're going to see Finn. Finn's not playing in this one. He knows what's the deal, and I like that. I'm like, yes, because I love John Boyega. Since I first saw him in Attack the Block, one of my favorite alien movies of all time. He's fucking great. I love this kid. And as Finn, I ate him up. I loved it. So, looking forward to that shit. And Daisy Ridley said something on the panel. Before they dropped the trailer, when they introduced her and stuff. And it was kind of like, oh, shit. I looked at my wife. I was like, oh, I don't know if she was supposed to say that. Because she basically said, what is it for Rey to meet someone you idolize or to meet a hero and find out they're not who you thought they were? And I'm like, oh, she just dropped a major bomb. But then at the end of the trailer, Luke says what he says. And I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. But it's so interesting to see what we're going to get. Like Chris said, the balance, that gray area. Ahsoka Tano did it, She's in that gray area. Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars Clone Wars and Rebels. We'll get to Rebels in a minute. She did it. And it worked. When you see her there in Rebels Season 2, fighting Vader, I love it. It's fucking Star Wars, man. I'm geeking out. I'm sorry. But yo, listen, anybody something to say? Chris, go ahead, man. Take it away. I'm bugging.
I do secretly hope that they reveal Finn as a potential Force user as well. Because he was handling that lightsaber a little bit too well for someone who just grabbed something for the first time in Force Awakens. That's just my opinion.
Well, there's a theory behind that. I think that's kind of been cleared up by J.J. Abrams. I'm not 100% sure if he said it, but when you see that sequence at Maz Kanata's place, traitor, and the stormtroopers wielding that vibro blade, the stormtroopers, this generation, were trained to combat lightsabers, I guess. They were trained to sword fight, basically, because they knew Luke Skywalker was around. They knew what happened, after Return of the Jedi. I can't wait to see what's going to come in the interim. I want to know what happens at the end of Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens, and I want to visually see that. I mean, I know there's books and shit, but I think they were trained to use it. And you got to remember, Kylo Ren got blasted by that bowcaster, by Chewie's bowcaster, and that thing was sending people flying. Regular, normal people. Kylo Ren's a Force user, so this dude's bleeding out. He's not 100%, but he still does have the Force to guide him, and I think that's why he dispatched Finn rather easy.
I think the traitor stormtrooper, like in a book or something, they like came up together in the academy or whatever, and so I assume he has the vibroblade thing training. I would assume that Finn also has that training, even if he was in maintenance. He still has combat training.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm still hoping.
Listen, I don't.
I want him to be a Force user too, but I just I rationalize it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Alex. Let me ask you, Alex. You see the poster? The poster. That poster is fucking beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I love it.
Such a throwback to the very first poster with Mark Hamill holding that lightsaber up in there. That's exactly what that is. It's blue, and then of course it gets red, and goes all the way and cuts between Luke and Kylo's face. Am I reading too much into this? Could that possibly signify a turn for Rey?
A lot of people saying that. They're saying that she may, by the last movie, turn bad or evil, and then that comes where Finn pops in and becomes a hero. They're saving Finn for something. And will that be the end? I don't know. Will it be maybe Luke really lost it, Rey follows, and then the Jedi becomes tainted? Maybe is that where they're leading to? I really don't know, but that could be a possibility where she becomes evil or maybe Darth Vader-like, and here comes Finn saving the day. Could be that. I don't know.
Chris, let me ask you: is it too much to think, or is it just too much in general to have, if Rey does go dark side, her kill Luke? Because we already had Kylo kill Han. We don't want to see that again, do we?
I mean, I don't know. It's tough because I definitely have read fan theories as well that there might be a role reversal kind of thing where Rey winds up becoming evil and then Kylo Ren turns back to the good side, and there's all this going back and forth. I don't really like to speculate that much because sometimes, not often, but sometimes I turn out to be right, and that ruins the movie for me. So I kind of want to pause on the speculation and just let this story kind of unfold itself.
Nice. No, I totally agree with you. Unfortunately for you, though, here on the G Show podcast, I love speculating. Isn't that right, Matt?
That is right, much to my chagrin.
Yes. Matt got to go through it. I'm sorry. But, Matt, I know you don't really play video games like that, but the Jedi symbol, I know that shit from the Jedi Outcast series.
I was thinking that too. I saw that and I guess it's canon now. It's official, but that they have their own insignia, and that's just neato burrito to me.
I like that. Well, I'm keeping it Star Wars transitioning, but I do have this last question for the Last Jedi trailer. I'm going to ask you, Matt, because I'm going to ask all three of you guys. But in the sequence where Luke says, "What did you see?" She said, "Light, dark, and what was the other one? I forgot. Hope? I forgot. But anyway, the last thing, because you see Leia, you see Kylo Ren's broken mask, and then you see these books, right? The Journals of the Wills, if you will. But did you see that where it was surrounded, looked like a tree or something? But you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Bendu from Star Wars Rebels. Do you think maybe that is what it was? Maybe a fossilized Bendu? Maybe it is the Bendu just sleeping, keeps the books? Because I'm just interested in to see what those books are, to be honest with you. But Matt, what do you think?
I think that's probably a bit of a stretch. I think they're not going to. I really don't think that they're going to bring anything from the TV canon into the main trilogies. I think they're probably going to save all those little tidbits and Easter eggs and stuff for the standalone movies. But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, anything could happen with this movie. The trailer, like, at the end of the day, the trailer didn't actually give us much about the plot. Or really, this is going to be an over 2-hour movie, and they showed us just little snippets here and there in a seemingly random order of just shots, So, like, fucking anything could happen in this movie.
I hear you. So, Chris, let me ask you. Matt doesn't seem to think that the TV show and the movies are going to intermingle. So does that mean Sabine Wren isn't the basis for the Knights of Ren? Who knows?
I mean, it's hard for me to say that. This is where the part where I got to be kind of honest, because I haven't really got into Rebels yet. I was coursing my way through Clone Wars before I got to that, and I kind of stalled on that. So I got a lot of catching up to do with the animated series. So I'm not as familiar with the lore as you guys are. But I mean, I think Matt's right in the sense of like the standalone stuff, because we did see hints of stuff in Rogue One, where they had some of the ships and everything like that from Rebels. You see some of these things. So I think he might be right in the sense that they might not throw that stuff into the main trilogies, like the Skywalker stories trilogies, and just kind of keep those for like the stuff that's not really part of that storyline in that universe, and just keep it in the standalone stuff like Rogue One and the Han Solo movie, whatever they do after that. But again, like he said, who knows? Maybe as far as the Star Wars goes, they might decide to be more inclusive than they have with, say, the Marvel stuff, where like they don't really touch on the TV show stuff in the movie as much as they touch on the movie stuff in the TV shows. It doesn't kind of work both ways in Marvel. Maybe it'll work both ways in Star Wars.
Gotcha.
Maybe they'll listen from the fans complaining about Marvel and do it in Star Wars.
I gotcha. Alex, over.
I think it's something different. I think it's something to do with the first Jedi Temple. Because I remember Han mentioned it in Force Awakens that Luke was looking for the first Jedi Temple. So maybe something to do with that. I feel like that's the only hint we're going to get in it. And that's like, a memory of Luke seeing the fire and all that. I think it has something to do with that. I feel like that's what my gut feeling is with this. What that is.
All right, well, listen, before we wrap it up, I do want to touch upon Star Wars Rebels. We're staying in Star Wars because, again, celebration, and I am, Star Wars is my number one go-to thing. I just found out real quick, and this is an offside thing, Star Wars number one, Godzilla number two, that's always how that's how it is. Dave Filoni, the guy who created Rebels and Clone Wars, is a giant Godzilla fan. So, massive props to you, Dave Filoni. I love you even more now. That's where that giant monster, I forgot the name of that creature from Rogue, Clone Wars comes into play. Massive props to you for that. Yeah. But speaking of Rebels, it's official. Season 4 will be the final season of Rebels. And they dropped the trailer for it at Celebration. And though it didn't give away much, it definitely had a sense of dread to it. There's going to be some Rebels not making it out of this. We knew that. But this is kind of like the stamp. I don't want to see Zeb go, but I think Zeb's gone. I don't believe Hera's gone because they put something out. I don't know how much of canon this is supposed to be. Filoni kind of skirted the question about this. They're doing this 2D animated mini shorts. I think it's, what was it, Destiny or something like that. I forget. But it deals with the female characters of Star Wars. So you have Rey, you have Jyn Erso, you have Princess Leia, you have Sabine, Ahsoka. Yep, Ahsoka. But I did see something that Hera is going to be on Endor with Princess Leia. So I'm like, okay, well, Hera's if this is canon, Hera makes it out of Clone Wars.
Well, if you listen to the trailer, she said Hera is the one
narrating
the whole thing, and it sounds like she's telling this
story,
someone or the audience, and so it sounds like no matter what, she's going to make it out. But my kind of thoughts is like, yeah, it does look really. There is that sense of dread and stuff too. But when we got the first sneak peek, the first trailer for season 3, when that came out last year, that we all thought, like, okay, this is going to be about Ezra's journey, kind of playing with the dark side and stuff, and that only comprised 4 or 5 episodes of a 20-episode show.
Yeah, you're right.
Or season. And, it really, they kind of misled us with that one. So, maybe it's the same thing, but I do think there will be more dire stakes at hand. There's going to be a sense of finality because it is the final season. And I think Thrawn is going to play a much bigger role in this one. It's even evident from how much more we see of him in the trailers, or the new trailer.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the main, the focus this year.
Yeah. I mean, well, there's scenes where he's got armor on. He's actually in the field now. He's doing stuff. He's not just observing and collecting data.
You're right. Absolutely right. Alex, let me ask you, wow, I completely had a question, completely lost it. What did you think of the trailer overall?
I think it's just like the new Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi. It sets the tone. As you said, they didn't reveal so much, and I feel like they're going to hide a lot of things because, this is the climax of, Rebels. And I do, here's the thing, is that they didn't show, Vader. They didn't show, much of the villains. Hopefully, I'm still hoping that, Ahsoka comes back for our final fight or something. I don't think she's dead. So, there's a lot of mysteries. The last episode I saw was, of course, Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. That was, that episode, man.
Great.
The feels for that. And, we're going into this last season now, so we know that Darth Maul's not in it. So, it's another trailer that sets the tone for me, and hopefully I get all the stuff I want out of this. Hope it's a good closure.
Chris, even though you haven't seen the show, but knowing that this is the final season, and knowing what the series is about, basically the beginning of the Rebel Alliance, you've seen Rogue One. Do you think that we are going to get the Battle of Scarif in animated form this season?
It's possible. Or they might cut the season just short of what happens there. It might just stop just short of where Rogue One picks up. So that's also a possibility. I haven't had a chance to check out the trailer yet, and as I mentioned, I'm not really that deep into the series. I haven't seen Rebels at all yet. I've seen bits and clips and stuff that I've watched on YouTube.
Right.
So I'm not as familiar with it as you guys. But like I said, it might. I feel like if it was me running the show, I'd probably cut it just where Rogue One is about to start taking off, where Jyn Erso's story. So Jyn Erso as a kid probably runs parallel to the series, and then when we're starting to get into Jyn Erso as an adult going on the quest to find the Death Star plans, that's probably where Rebels is going to run short of.
I see what you're saying.
Well, I think Clone Wars got canceled halfway through production of their 6th season, and I feel like a lot of fans are really upset about that. So I think Dave Filoni is not going to let that happen again. There's going to be definite closure, a very decided ending, where we get to see what happens to these characters. It's not going to be kind of left open. I don't think he wants to do something like that again. Have something kind of pulled out under the rug from him and piss off a lot of fans, because they still had 2.5 more seasons worth of Clone Wars that they had planned before it got canned.
Yeah.
And so I think he wants a definite ending for these characters, So yeah, maybe the Battle of Scarif will happen. Maybe we will see that in animated form, but I don't think it's going to be left off to hey guys, we're heading off to Scarif right now to go join this big fight, and then it just kind of cuts to credits.
Okay, last question. Chris, you're not going to be able to participate in this one because, like you said, you haven't really seen Rebels. But I want to give you a list of episodes that you should watch. You don't need to watch all the seasons because there are a couple of filler episodes that are really for 5-year-olds, legit. But there are episodes that are so strong and powerful and add so much to the mythology of Star Wars that I definitely think you would enjoy and appreciate the way we have. But last question for you guys on the G Shout. Who's dying and who's surviving in this season of Rebels? We're going to start with you, Matt.
Hera, Ezra, and Chopper all live. Sabine, maybe. She's a maybe, but I think Kanan and Zeb probably die.
All right. Okay. We already saw Commando Sato get it last season. Alex, what's your predictions?
I think Ezra and like pretty much the whole team dies except for Hera.
You have to keep in mind that this is a children's show on Disney. They're not going to kill a teenager on the show. No matter what, I think Ezra's going to live.
I want to just point out something, and this is me showing my age, but a long time ago, in a neighborhood far, far away from where I'm at right now, I watched an episode of Captain Planet where they killed a teenager due to a drug or overdose. Captain Planet. A show for 8-year-olds. So I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility, especially because they do kill people in Star Wars, especially on Rebels. It's been done. Not out of the realm of possibility.
But not children. And, my counterpoint to that is, times have changed a lot and, gun censorship and all that fun stuff.
Wow. Okay. I'm just saying, I saw that and I remember that. And I was like, oh my God, they just killed this kid on a cartoon. Blood and everything. I was like, oh shit. But,
well, as unfamiliar as I am with the series, I do have a prediction. I think that Obi-Wan and Leia are going to make it past this series.
And they were both on the show, so you know what? He ain't lying. I'll take those odds, man. I'm with you on that one. Kanan's gone. He has to go, which is sad and unfortunate. Because I really do like Kanan. I thought he was a really cool character, but eventually all Jedis must be purged. Even Luke says so at the end of the trailer. Zeb, I love Zeb. He's gone. Callus, goodbye. The female governor that rocks with Tarkin, she's gone. The one that looks like a fish, goodbye. The Sabine is that's interesting. That could go either way. I don't like the idea that she's the basis of Knights of Ren, but I can see it. But I don't want that to play out. I don't think that's gonna how it's. Unless Ezra is Snoke, that's the only thing I could. But I think at the end of this, Ezra's coming out of this fucked up beyond recognition. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do kill Ezra. There shouldn't be another Jedi running around. They shouldn't. They just shouldn't. And Ahsoka comes back, loses her Leku, or Leku, however you pronounce that shit, and becomes Maz Kanata. That's it. I'm telling you, I'm not making that shit up.
And also shrinks 5 feet.
Yeah, because as they get older, it's something you don't know about this alien race. As they get older, they get smaller. Yoda in his prime was actually 10 foot tall. You didn't know that though, right?
Yeah, but Yoda wasn't Twi'lek.
Okay, shut your face. Anyhow, listen, guys.
Let him have his dreams.
Yeah, stop ruining my speculations, damn it. Listen, guys, seriously, this was a great podcast, man. This week was fun, and I'm glad you guys were here with me to geek out over the shit, even the Transformers stuff, which is insanity. So that'll do it for us. Chris, man, thanks for joining us, brother.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Yes, Matt, again, thank you.
Of course. I'm always here.
And Alex, man, thank you.
Of course, always love these geek outs.
Hell yeah. And thank you guys for paying attention to us, just rambling and geeking, especially me, because once I start, I don't stop. That's it for the episode 3 of the Geek Out. We've been on air for 1 year now, me and Matt, and let's go for another 2 or 3, or at least till episode 10. We're out of here. Peace.